most of us that are in this market are assuming the Clarity Act will follow through sometime in Q1 or 2, which is moving through another Haggerty and others driving this. They worked on the Clarity Act, and this exchange is a good thing because it shows the government's backing it and it'll be compliant. But here's the one thing that's changed that people should understand: there are thousands of altcoins or rat coins, they're called, and poo-poo coins. That's it turns out that even though some of them have a use case, if you're an investor and now all of a sudden you get the Clarity Act and you're an institution and you decide to put a 3% to 5% weighting like you would in gold, I'm talking pension and sovereign wealth funds, the data tells you something very stark. It says all you have to own to capture 90% of all of the crypto markets alpha or pricing volatility is simply Bitcoin and Ethereum.
And there's a quick take from Mr. Wonderful. We'll see the rest of this clip before this video is over, so make sure you watch to the end. And with that, what's happening in Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Getting straight into it. Bitcoin at the current time it's recording is trading at 89.5K. What do we see? What do we anticipate? So right now, we see in these charts, since the bull market has been ripping to the upside, Bitcoin rips, trades sideways, sometimes putting in lower lows and lower highs before it blasts up to the next leg, trades sideways, then might have a dump, and then put in some type of inverse head and shoulders pattern, trade sideways, and not have that sustained breakout, what we were anticipating, and fall down. Now, is the bull market over with? There's a lot of people saying that, but once again, zooming out in the charts, you see higher highs and higher lows are still the name of the game. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And even with this pullback, we are at a higher low. So could this rally come back up and put new all-time highs? That's a possibility. The level to pay attention to right now is this 78 range. If this pullback gets below that previous low and we see a close below that, might have a back test of it, but that will tell you that we are in a bear market. But we're not there yet. Right now, it's a buy the dip opportunity and keep dollar cost averaging. Markets are about to get extremely euphoric. Don't take it from the Bitcoin bros. Listen to what President Trump has to say.
You better go out and buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody's ever seen before. That's a very important element of all of this. If we get that, if you don't, and the Democrats are fighting it only because they want to fight. They have Trump derangement syndrome. It's terrible what's happened to the Democrats. So very, very important element of everything, of what we're doing. Unrelated to today, but related in the sense that we'll do, if that passes, we'll do even more business with the UK. We'll have so much.
What Trump is sitting here telling you is that you need to be in markets because the liquidity is on the way. How much do you think? Right here, the US M2 money supply just hit a new all-time high, and Bitcoin always follows. So that means this is a leading indicator, the M2 money supply for Bitcoin. Once that makes new highs, Bitcoin isn't ripped right away. Bitcoin is the lagging indicator of the M2 being the leading. Understand this. This chart is just one of the biggest signals in crypto right now. It quietly climbed back to $22.3 trillion, and the pace of expansion is the fastest since mid-22 towards the depths of the bear market. This is a clear signal that liquidity in the US financial system is turning. And right here, President Trump told you this. He's saying it not black and white. He's not trying to be given a gray area. He's basically being straight point. You better be in markets. And right here, you can look here on the iShares Russell 200 ETF below in comparison to Bitcoin. Every time you get this breakout of this previous peak test, what happens? Bitcoin follows to put new all-time highs in. Every single time, new highs. Every single time, Bitcoin puts in new all-time highs. Even though we've been putting in higher highs and higher lows, we still haven't had that rip to the upside with Bitcoin to follow. So that still is in the cards. Pay attention. And right here, if we do see a lower price action, remember, today that floor is 71,000. below its electric cost. We looked at this chart here and we showed you this wick down, the attention to pay attention to. The previous low was around the 77, 78 range. The electric cost is right now a little below that, 71,000. So once that gets hit, if it gets hit, that'll be a level that Bitcoin's never went below. So there's a higher probable chance that there's more upside potential than downside. Without further ado, let's get back to the clip from Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary and see what he has to say for markets.
Most of us that are in this market are assuming the Clarity Act will follow through sometime in Q1 or 2, which is moving through another Haggerty and others driving this. They worked on the Clarity Act. And this exchange is a good thing because it shows the government's backing it and it'll be compliant. But here's the one thing that's changed that people should understand. There are thousands of altcoins or rat coins they're called, and poo-poo coins, it turns out that even though some of them have a use case, if you're an investor and now all of a sudden you get the Clarity Act and you're an institution and you decide to put a 3% to 5% weighting like you would in gold, I'm talking pension and sovereign wealth funds, the data tells you something very stark. It says all you have to own to capture 90% of all of the crypto market's alpha or pricing volatility is simply Bitcoin and Ethereum. You don't need anything else. And so this is really, really hard medicine for all of the people that sponsored all of these other chains and other platforms, because now they face the reality, which I think is a cleansing, a good thing, a spatula cleaning from all that poo-poo coin out there that's just pure speculation. But it also says the maturity of the market is looking at the numbers because the big money's about to come in. So if you were just in Bitcoin and Ethereum over the last 8 weeks, you've done so much better than own the poo-poo coins. And the poo-poo coins aren't going to come back unless they can give you a use case and they have to have tens of millions of dollars in marketing. Jack, you just called for the price of Bitcoin. That is universal around the world. The only other call is on Ethereum, and no one else gets that ticker you just called for. They have to market. They have to buy it.
Made that case from the beginning of this, that Bitcoin really was the be-all and end-all, and that all these poo-poo
But now you have the infrastructure.
Had no value.
You have the infrastructure saying, I'm an institution. What do I need to own? No poo-poo coins, just Bitcoin and Ethereum.